Good evening, everyone. I'm Becky Wilcox, and this is Insight News TV. Tonight, we are witnessing a political tremor that could reshape the very foundation of America's political landscape. Iowa, a state that stood with Republicans for years, is now seeing Kamala Harris take the lead over Donald Trump, if only by the thinnest of margins. This isn't just a poll, it's a potential turning point. But what does it all mean? A recent poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris leading former President Donald Trump in Iowa. This unexpected result has analysts scrambling to understand its implications for the 2024 presidential election. Could Iowa, a state with a long history of voting Republican, be on the verge of a political earthquake? If Harris can maintain and build upon this lead, it could signal a challenging road ahead for Trump and the Republican Party in 2024. The Hawkeye State's red history. Iowa has long been considered a Republican stronghold, particularly in presidential elections. The state has consistently voted for Republican candidates, with the exception of Barack Obama's victories in 2008 and 2012. However, the state's demographics have been gradually shifting, with an increase in urban and suburban populations and a growing diversity of political views. Whether this shift is a temporary blip or a sign of a more permanent change remains to be seen, but it is undeniable that Iowa's political landscape is undergoing a period of significant transformation. Why Harris might be ahead. Several factors could be contributing to Kamala Harris's lead over Donald Trump in Iowa. One possibility is a rejection of Trump's brand of politics. Some voters may be turned off by his rhetoric and policies, leading them to seek an alternative. Harris's focus on issues like rural development, healthcare, and education could be appealing to voters in the state. It's important to note that polls are just a snapshot in time, and the race is far from over. If Iowa were to flip from red to blue in the 2024 presidential election, it would have significant implications for the national political landscape. Losing Iowa would force the Republican candidate to make up for those lost electoral votes elsewhere, potentially making it more difficult to win the presidency. If Iowa were to turn blue, it could potentially open the door for Democrats to win other Midwestern states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. A Democratic Iowa could also embolden Democratic candidates in other traditionally Republican states, potentially leading to a wave election that could reshape the balance of power in Washington. As in any election, voters in Iowa are motivated by a variety of issues that are shaping their choices at the ballot box. One prominent issue is the rural-urban divide. Iowa, with its vast agricultural industry, has a significant rural population that often feels overlooked by politicians focused on urban centers. Addressing concerns about rural economic development, access to healthcare, and education is paramount for both candidates. Another pressing issue is the economy, particularly inflation, which has been impacting Americans nationwide. Healthcare remains a top concern for voters, particularly in rural areas where access to quality, affordable healthcare can be limited. Iowa has a long tradition of valuing education, and voters will be looking for candidates who prioritize investments in education at all levels. With Iowa emerging as a potential tipping point in the 2024 election, both the Harris and Trump campaigns are intensifying their efforts to win over voters in the Hawkeye state. Campaigning in Iowa is often characterized by its retail politics, with candidates attending town halls, visiting local businesses, and engaging directly with voters. Harris will likely focus on mobilizing her base of support in urban areas, while also reaching out to rural voters who may be disillusioned with the Republican Party. Trump, on the other hand, will likely rely on his populist message and his ability to connect with his base of supporters. Both campaigns will also need to navigate the issue of electability, as voters will be considering which candidate has the best chance of winning the general election. Iowa is shaping up to be a pivotal battleground in the 2024 election, and its voters will play a crucial role in determining the next president of the United States. As the clock winds down, every move counts. Every handshake, every last plea for votes could be the deciding factor. And we're all left wondering, will Iowa flip? Is this the first crack in the Republican armor? Or will Iowa stay red in a decisive comeback? This story is far from over, folks. We're standing on the edge of history, and the outcome could change everything. So keep it here at Insight News TV as we bring you every twist, every revelation. Like, share, and subscribe for the in-depth analysis you won't find anywhere else. I'm Becky Wilcox, and this is Insight News TV.